Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle, and today I'm going to be sharing my 2023-2024 homeschool schedule. So this will be our third year of homeschooling. I have a 10-year-old going into 5th grade, a 6.5-year-old finishing up 1st grade and transitioning to 2nd grade, and my 3.5-year-old son will be joining us for preschool this year. So I recently put out a video, and I'll link it up above, about my planner, how I organize that. I also talked about organizing our yearly schedule. So we do the Sabbath schedule, 6 weeks on, 1 week off. It's not always exactly 6 weeks, and I talk about that in the video, but that's kind of my first step. So I've purchased my planner. This is the Homeschool Happy Planner if you're curious. I've marked our weeks off, vacation, field trips, things like that. Now the next step is trying to figure out how all of the curriculum I've chosen will fit into our year. And I will link up above my 5th grade curriculum choices, my 2nd grade curriculum choices, and my preschool curriculum choices. So you can get a more detailed view of those things, but this is just going to be going over how I'm fitting all those things into our schedule. So for creating schedules, I do that digitally, and I have a video, I'll link that above, about how I use OneNote on my computer to organize kind of like an online portfolio, but I also do my planning for scheduling on there to see what curriculum I have and how it will plug in. After I do that, I move it over the information to Canva, which is a free online like graphic design program that you can use. There is a paid version. I don't use the paid version, I use the free version, and that is how I created these. And again, I will show you more in detail that, but I'm going to turn you around and actually use my computer so you guys can get a better idea of how I do all this. All right, so as you can see, this is OneNote I have open right here, and this is how I organize kind of our portfolio in long-term planning. As you can see here, I have all of our years and different information for each year. So here I have, for the 2023-2024 school year, I have our curriculum choices on the left, and then on the right I have a rough draft of my schedule for the kids. So as you can see, this would be my 5th graders curriculum choices, and again, check that video out if you want to see that. My 6.5-year-old's curriculum choices, and then I did add my 3.5-year-old down here. So this is just a running list I have through the previous year of what I want to cover, resources I want to use, and all that information is saved there. And then from there, I make a table, which is really easy to do, and I break it up into fall, winter, winter, spring. Now, the thing about homeschool schedules is they will change. They will change often. Your children are constantly changing, so the schedule should reflect that. So this is in no way like in stone. We have to follow it this way. And the nice thing about doing the 6 weeks on, 1 week off is I can reassess that week we have off, what's working, what's not, if there need to be any schedule changes. But I do like to go into the beginning of the year having an idea of what we're going to use, and so my kids know the expectations, what's coming next, and have a nice flow to our day. So this would be my 5th graders. This will be how we start in the fall. And again, Monday through Friday, I list, and if everything highlighted in green would be considered group subjects. Anything in blue is a class. So we have Lego coding class at the library on Wednesdays. Fridays, she has horseback riding class, and then we have a co-op meetup on Fridays as well. As you can see, I can also make notes here. So we're going to be rotating art and philosophy because looking at our schedule, I realized we cannot fit both art and philosophy in the fall semester. So we're going to rotate through those. And then I do have a mock-up of what I think the winter to spring semester will look like. But again, a lot of what happens in the fall and winter will impact our scheduling during that. But again, I like to have a broad outline so I know I'm covering everything. For example, we're not covering spelling for my 5th grader until the 2nd semester because All About Spelling 3 and 4 is supposed to be coming out in 2024. So that's just a note I have there. Same thing with my 6-year-old. We have the classes in blue, and then group subjects. Spanish is something she's choosing to do. If my 10-year-old chooses to join us, that's great, but I did highlight it as a group subject. Same with philosophy. Philosophy will be a group subject. And then I have a mock-up of what her year would look, or her winter spring semester would look like too, because we have art, as you can see, art and philosophy switch up. Then I did a quick mock-up of my preschoolers, what his days are going to look like. So we have Monday through Friday. Again, he's not participating in Lego coding at all, but I need to put it in there to remind myself that I will not be around for that. My husband will have to be watching him then. And same with group subjects. He's welcome to join us for this, but these are not mandatory in any way. We're just going to do our letter of the week curriculum. We're going to do our math a couple times a day, and he will participate, obviously, in our co-op. As you can see here, I haven't put anything for the winter spring because it will largely depend on how the fall winter goes. So that's my first thing. I look at the curriculum choices I've made. I start to plug things in, see where they fit, and I do 2 different sections because, like I said, things like art and philosophy, they rotate. Spelling will be something later in the year. So that gives me an overview of the year. And from that, what I do is I make schedules for my kids using Canva. And that's what these are here. So I will start with this is my 6.5-year-old. So again, this is just a template I used on Canva. I added some cute graphics that really represent who she is, little reminders about doing chores. And, some people like checklists, some people like planners. I really prefer it this way because it's visual for my kids. It's something I can hang up on the wall next to our calendar, and everybody knows what's expected, what's coming next. There's no questions, and it really makes things run a lot smoother. So as you can see here, she has math. The only time that changes is Wednesday mornings. We have Lego coding class, so math will happen after that. She has her handwriting, all about reading. And then we'll break for lunch. After lunch, we'll do core knowledge, 2nd grade. After that, we will be doing history as a group, and that is Oh Freedom, U.S. History. I have a video up on that. Check it out if you want to see how the inside of that looks. And then she'll be doing Spanish on Mondays, Tuesdays, pretty much, as you can see here, like the top part above lunch doesn't change a lot. We just have like a class, and she does her handwriting and all that. But after lunch is when things tend to change. So we'll do history together. And there's a lot of reading to go with our history curriculum this year, so that's why I didn't add a lot of other subjects, because I know that will take a lot. And again, these are group subjects that are mainly aimed towards my older daughter, but my 6.5-year-old does join us. Do I expect her to grasp every concept? No, but it's a nice exposure for her. So we'll be doing geography this year, and we're doing United States geography to go with our United States history. Social justice will be a main theme again this year, and I've allocated a specific time for it. And I'll be rotating 2 different resources for that. It'll be Little Justice Leaders subscription boxes and Mint and Bloom We the People, which I will talk about that in another video. And we do core knowledge science Thursdays and Fridays, and we'll be doing the 4th grade unit of that. We have a couple units to finish up in that, and then we will move into 5th grade. And as you can see, Friday is kind of our lighter day. She'll do her math, her handwriting, all about reading. And then I will have her do her trophies, journeys, readers. As her independent read, we will do philosophy, and we will do science. Again, these things aren't taking a really long amount of time. Philosophy is maybe 10 minutes. Science is maybe 25 minutes. And then we have our co-op meeting later in the day. So I do know that because we have certain activities going on, that Friday will be a lighter day. So that takes you through the 2023 fall semester for my daughter. Again, this can change, and because I have the template, it's very easy to change it if I need to. So this is now my going to be 5th graders, and as you can see, very similar. She has horseback riding and just kind of reflects her more. So she'll have her math. Health is, we're focusing on puberty, and I go through that in her 5th grade curriculum choices. That's her health unit this year. It'll just be reading different resources. She'll be rotating every day, or 1 week she'll do Sadler vocabulary, the next week she'll do word ladders. And we did that last year and it worked really well. Handwriting, she'll be doing handwriting this year. She's using Handwriting Without Tears, the 5th grade level. Lunch, Lightning Lit. She'll be doing 5th grade Lightning Literature. IEW we have started during the summer, so she's, I think, on week 10 when we will be starting the fall semester, so she'll finish that up before the end of the year. But I do not use the Lightning Lit composition. I instead replace it with the IEW. So the only thing she uses from Lightning Lit is she reads the books, she answers the comprehension questions, and she does the grammar exercises. She does not do the writing component of that. And like I said with my my youngest daughter, we'll be doing history as a group subject together. And as you can see here, the notes down here, that signifies to her piano lessons. We started piano lessons using Hoffman Academy in July. It's gone really well. We're going to continue with it. I have her do a lesson every week, and the rest of the day she practices. So Monday she'll usually do her lesson, and the rest of the day she'll practice whatever the lesson was. So you can see here, she has math again for Tuesday, Michael Clay Thompson. The only thing we have to finish for the first level of Michael Clay Thompson is I have her do a sentence analysis every week. And then we still have to go through the poetry of Michael Clay Thompson. Same thing with my 6.5-year-old. We'll be doing United States geography using core knowledge. And I have different resources for that too. Again, that's in that curriculum video. Lego coding class, so I know we will have a later start to the day. And the nice thing about this year, since my youngest son, 3.5-year-old, isn't napping, we can start at 9, and that's when our day will start. Actually, it will start a little earlier than that to fit in my preschoolers. So I'm guessing maybe 45 minutes for my preschooler. We're going to start at 8 for her, or 8 for my 3.5-year-old, and then my girls will start at 9 a.m. And is that early? Yes, but my kids get up super early. They get up at like 6:30 in the morning, so starting at 8 is not too early for them. And I'm excited to get an earlier start this year and get down earlier. So from 8 to 8:30 or 8:45, I'll be doing that letter of the week curriculum. I show my preschool curriculum choices, and math with Kate Snow. And calendar. That will be his main chunk from 8 to 8:45. Starting at 9 is when my girls' schedule will start, or at least that's the plan. So as you can see here, same thing with social justice. All these group things will stay the same as I explained with my 6.5-year-old. My 5th graders' work stays the same, and having them both have their schedules up, they know what's next. Like my 5th grader is very independent. She can look at her schedule, know what's coming next, and a lot of like health, vocab, handwriting, that's all independent work. We do math together. Lightning Ledger has pretty much become independent at this point, which is really nice. I do check it every single day when she's done to make sure she's understanding the concepts. If there's something in grammar that she doesn't get, we go over it together, but pretty much Lightning Lit is independent at this time, and that's really nice. It leaves a lot of time, so when she's doing Lightning Lit, as you can see here, I'm doing core knowledge 2nd grade with my 6.5-year-old, so that opens up that time. And I have a day in the life where I just rotate from kid to kid to kid, depending on what they need me for. And IEW is, again, independent. She doesn't need me for that, so that opens up the later afternoon for my other kids if they need help with school. And then we will come together and do history together and our group subjects. So as you can see, that is our planned schedule, at least for the fall semester for my soon-to-be 2nd grader, soon-to-be 5th grader, and preschooler. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. If not, thank you for watching.